So the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver core is looking good, but there's still many question marks. Sky Moore, he showed flashes of what he could do, but the question is he gonna break out next year? Like, is he gonna have a breakout season? Because he's shown flashes that he could run routes, he could play well in the slot, but when he gets more opportunities, is he gonna get 800 to 1,000 yards? That's the real question. And then you have other wide receivers in our wide receiver core like John and Justin Ross, who's both dealing with the same problem. Extremely talented players, but they're just injury prone. Especially Justin Ross. I think he could be something very special, but the fact that he can't like get through these injuries and he's battling these injuries before he's even played an NFL game is real concerning. But we're hoping for a healthy season out of him. And John Ross, 4.22 speed, but getting injured a lot, so it's really hard, man. And like I said, Sky Moore, unproven, but I do have a little bit of faith in Sky Moore. And then when you look at MVS, he has a limited ability. Like, in my opinion, he's one-dimensional. I don't know. He has to improve. There's things he has to improve in his game. But he made some big plays last season, and that gives me hope for him next year. And you got Rashee Rice. Now, Rashee Rice is a rookie, so it's hard to really, say what he's going to do. I mean, he's a rookie. We know in Andy Reid's system, it's hard to get a lot of shine as a rookie. And then Kadarius Toney, same as Justin Ross and John, but he's made some plays. He's done some things for this team already. And a lot of games where he played with Mahomes, they made some good connections to each other, and that just gives me hope for that duo next year. But he has to have a 17-game season. He has to stay healthy, man. He has to. He just has to. And another thing, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're also looking to add a wide receiver because they've been involved in the market for a while now, the wide receiver market. They tried to trade for A.J. Brown, but the Eagles ended up getting him. They tried to sign Odell Beckham Jr., but the Ravens ended up getting him. And they also tried to trade for DeAndre Hopkins, who's a free agent now, and there may be a chance that the Chiefs may be getting him. But there's still some more possible options. Like I listed, DeAndre Hopkins is a possible option. Mike Evans is possible. Chris Godwin is possible. I feel like either Godwin or Evans is not going to be on the Bucs this season. One of them is leaving. And all three of those wide receivers will be a good choice for us, in my opinion. And they all will have historic seasons with the Chiefs. And they all share skill sets that's perfect for Mahomes. And it will make it way easier on him. And they can all also complement the younger wide receivers. Now, the reason why this video is called The Harsh Truth About the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver core is because the truth is, it's just a lot of unproven dudes in this wide receiver core. And when I talk about wide receiver core, I'm literally talking about the wide receivers. So stop bringing up Travis Kelce. He's obviously our tight end, and he's the greatest tight end of all time. But he's not a wide receiver, bro. So, yeah, the truth is they're just unproven. They have to, one of them have to show up, and one of them have to have a big year. Last year, Juju came up. Like, at least one of these dudes could have a big year, at least one of them. Kadarius Toney's my candidate. I think Kadarius Toney, if he stays healthy, we all know he could put up 1,000 yards, especially with Patrick Mahomes. I like what they was doing last year. Even if it's not 1,000 yards, like receiving, it could be 1,000 total yards. We know Toney could run the ball as well, and he's like a Deebo Samuel. But yeah, man, Toney's definitely gonna make some history, and he's gonna be a very good player with Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. And I do think he's very talented. And that's why the Chiefs went out there and traded for him. They didn't trade for him for nothing. They're going to get him involved. Trust me. Now, okay, the wide receiver core may be unproven, but we do have Patrick Mahomes still and Andy Reid. So Andy Reid's always going to make good play calls to get these dudes open. And Patrick Mahomes is going to always throw the ball well. He's going to always hit his teammates. So yeah, man, just because I say they unproven doesn't mean they're bad. I'm just saying they're unproven. They have a lot of question marks. And they got to answer them question marks this season coming up. Now, say we do get DeAndre Hopkins, we do get Chris Godwin, or we do get Mike Evans. That's just a plus. That's a plus right there. Mike Evans is a very good wide receiver who's been consistent over the years. You can't say he's injury prone or none of that. He's put up 1,000 yards like for almost every season of his career. So Mike Evans is a very great player, and he's very consistent. And the Chiefs, we all know that's going to be a free 1,000 yards, probably with more, because Mahomes is just a different quarterback. I get Brady's good, but when it comes to arm talent and accuracy and all that, I think Mahomes has the edge on Brady. and the way he just improvises, Brady can't come close to him when it comes to skill. Don't get me wrong, when it comes to legacy and rings, Brady obviously has that, but when it comes to just skill as a quarterback, we got to give that to Patrick Mahomes. And yeah, man, like I like how the wide receiver core, they're all different. At least they're not the same. Like MVS is a deep threat, John Ross is a deep threat, but we don't know how Andy Reid's gonna use him. Justin Ross is a possession. Rashee Rice is like a possession as well. And Sky Moore is like that nice, small, shifty slot receiver who has reliable hands, and he's reliable to get them 5-yard catches on the routes. So I like how at least the wide receiver core is very versatile. So even if one of them don't put up 1,000, we need at least one of them to put up 800 plus, and then the rest of them will just have, some good yards like last year, because Mahomes is going to spread the ball out to all of them. But one thing I do want to touch on is if Mahomes was to get a wide receiver 1 this year, just think about how crazier his stats would be. Because the younger players, they're going to capitalize off of that wide receiver 1 being there and that presence. So it's definitely going to help them shine. And then Mahomes is also going to be thrown to the wide receiver 1 with Travis Kelce and the rest of the young guys. So if Mahomes could break the total yard record with what he had last season, 2 mid tackles. The tackles was very mid. And yeah, man, 2 mid tackles and no wide receiver 1 for real. Imagine if he gets a wide receiver 1 this year with these new tackles and this new offensive line. Imagine, like, you think Mahomes could throw for 6,000 yards? Like, I think he could, or at least close, bro. Like, I think he could break that Peyton Manning record. Like, he could literally break that by like a mile, bro, in my opinion, if the right things happen. But yeah, man, I just want to see this wide receiver core elevate. I love Justin Ross. I would love to see him do what he needs to do, because in college he was a very electrifying player, and he was a very great player with Trevor Lawrence, so he's used to that feel. He's used to that feel of being on the field in big games, so that should translate to the NFL as long as he can stay healthy. And Kadarius Toney, another one, he just has to stay healthy, because when he's healthy, he's made plays, he could do a lot, he could catch contested, he's a menace in open space, so it's really just a lot, man. It's really a lot. And Sky Moore, he's shown that he could be that reliable slot receiver, which is we're gonna need that. Rashee Rice, I like what he was doing in college. Should translate to the NFL level, but sadly Andy Reid's not gonna give him the snaps like that. So yeah, man, an MVS, he's gonna keep being MVS. Probably gonna put up another 700 yards. But the thing about MVS, he has to be more consistent. Last season, I don't like how he was so inconsistent, but he was having some big games. So it just goes to show you that when you're with Mahomes, you can have a big game. When you're playing with Patrick Mahomes, it's easy to have a big game. Sky Moore, I can see him having a lot of big games next season, and Toney. And I just can't wait for the season to start, man. I know y'all also can't wait either. But if you enjoyed this video, man, like and subscribe. It's me, your boy Chiefs Priority. I'm still working on getting a new phone, and that should be happening soon. But I'm going to just keep pushing as much content as I can for y'all. And yeah, man, it's been your boy, Chiefs Priority, and I'm out, man. Peace.